There is really no guaranteed way to get good deals on Facebook Marketplace. You just have to browse it often, and the more you do, the better you are at finding good pieces for refinishing. This teak piece was one of those deals that I usually only see when it's been up for several hours and it's already spoken for. But I lucked out on this one and was the first person to reply to the ad. A man was selling it for his grandmother who was moving into a senior's place and didn't have room for it. If there's a piece of furniture I see online and I really like it, I always let the person know in the message that I would like to buy it and I can pick it up immediately. If I'm not far away in distance from them, I also mention this. And the reason for this is people that live close by are more reliable for pickups. So I think that helps. It's especially important to mention this when you see something that you know will get a lot of interest in it. So, drum roll please, I paid $20 for this.
It's in pretty good shape. It's a little dirty. It's probably dirtier now than when I got it because it's been sitting in my garage for a couple of months. The main damage with it is all the edge banding. Let's take a look at here. There's big chunks of edge banding missing in the teak, and then under here, the edge banding is gone completely. There's a couple spots where it's missing. It's missing up here as well. Found a few other spots over there, so that's a fairly easy fix. But it's in pretty good shape. Just dirty. It's not, and the door's not. Here, let me put it wide angle so we'll see it a bit better. There we go. The drawers all run nice and smooth, and they're all fairly clean, which is a bonus. Love to find clean drawers. And then neatest part of this is this pulls out for a writing surface, or even a, put your laptop on it. It's great. Perfect for a small space because it's not very, let me move the garbage can out here. It's not very deep. It's quite a, quite a thin piece. So great for a small area, but very functional with all the drawers and the cupboards and all these slots, and you can put books up here, and well, maybe not letters because who gets letters anymore, but I'm sure you can find a purpose for that somehow. These are really solidly built drawers.
%of the watch hours on my videos are by people who are not subscribed. So I'm asking you, if you like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button below. And I would also like to know what kind of redos you like best. Based on my numbers, it seems like people like the Art Deco restorations way better than the mid-century refinishes. So let me know in the comments what you like best and why. Thanks.
I wasn't going to take the back off behind the drawers and the sliding door, but now it looks like I have to because I just can't leave it looking like it looks now with half of the veneer gone off one side. So off comes the bottom of the back.
I decided that after I vacuumed the piece that I should really wipe it down because it was still really quite dusty. After I wiped down the whole piece, I used mineral spirits to go over the piece again with 4-0 steel wool. And that's basically just to remove any oils that are on the furniture. It seemed to me that it did have an oil finish, so the mineral spirits will help with that. After removing the back pieces, I noticed there was a lot of leftover masonite that had got stuck to the back. So I used my scraper just to even it off so it would be easier for the piece to go back on later. There were quite a few pieces along the bottom edges where the teak veneer was missing, so I used a 2-part epoxy wood filler to patch them. I let it dry, then I sanded it, and later on in the video I in-paint them to camouflage the patch job. Patching is not an exact science. You do the best that you can and realize that if the patches are along the bottom of the piece, you won't really see it when you're standing up. So don't stress out striving for perfection, unless that's your thing. Sometimes I nail it and the patch job looks fantastic. Other times I hope that the edge is not facing like a bright window, but rather a dark corner. I'm using a teak colored wood filler here at the back of the top shelf. I'm using this instead of epoxy filler because it's a rather shallow minor repair and it doesn't really need the strength of the epoxy.
Here's the backer board for the upper part of the cabinet. I've taken it off and I've noticed that the veneer is peeling off in places. So I'm going to peel the whole thing off. I will reglue it. The rest of it looks pretty good. The rest of it's stuck down. So just this piece here and this strip here needs some gluing. So that's what I will do.
This is the back piece of the bottom. On this side, you can see there's half the veneer missing. That's where the drawers go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to score the veneer at the midpoint and I'm going to remove all the veneer on the drawer side. I don't think I'm going to have to do anything with that. You're not going to see behind the drawer, so I'm just going to leave it like that. And what I'll do with the other side is I'll fix the cracks and the missing veneer by patching and gluing. And that should be good enough. I've glued down all the veneer, and now I'm going to wood fill some of the voids that are left. I'll paint it to match a little later. I've got a couple rolls of veneer here. This one's fairly dark. I don't even know what type of wood it is, although it's not too far off from the teak, from the color, but it's a little darker and it's got a lot more grain than the teak that's on here. Now this is really, really light, but when I stain it with Candlelight, General Finishes Candlelight, the color is very, very similar to the teak color. So I think I'm going to use that. Let's see. See, it's very, very close. So I'm going to use the light edge banding to repair all the missing pieces. Okay, watch closely. Here's my daily goof. See, I pull on the edge banding as I'm ironing it, and because it's still soft, it keeps pulling away. And I do it a second time and I don't notice it. So what I end up doing is I put a little filler piece in, and a little later on I patch it up because I figure you're never going to notice it anyways. I'm using some of the existing edge banding that I removed from the other side, and I'm making a little patch job of this area here on this side. Both sides of the pull-out part had edge banding missing from the very tip or the edge here, so I've had to replace both sides. There was a lot of loose veneer on the drawers, mostly the sides and the tops. Some pieces were completely missing and I had to put new pieces on, and other pieces did just come loose and I had to just reglue them.
Well, that's better.
As I finish all the repairs and the sanding, I start applying the Gilboy's hard wax oil. It's really easy to apply and has low VOCs and gives the finish a nice satiny luster. I apply it with an old towel and use a Mirka Merlon pad in between the coats. I think I ended up giving everything 2 coats. I'm using a hard bristle paintbrush to get all the bits of sanding dust out of the cracks around the handle. It works really well. I'm using a General Finishes stain called Candlelight to tint the wood, the light color wood edge banding that I've put all over the piece. And the reason I'm using this is because it mimics the color of the teak the best of all the stains I have. I go over it at least twice, sometimes 3 times to get the density of color that I need. I generally just wing it when I'm doing touch-ups. I'm using Mohawk's Blendall sticks here to color the wood filler on the bottom back panel. I start with the lightest color and I keep blending and adding color until I'm happy with the results. When I'm finished with the touch-up, I usually spray a couple coats of Mohawk sanding sealer on it just to lock in the color before I apply anything on top of it. This here is the only part you're actually going to see because the other part is covered by the back. So I'm happy with the results. It's inside at the back of the dark cabinet, so it's good. I really enjoyed this redo. I love working on unique pieces of furniture, and the results of this far exceeded my expectations. My only regret is I have no room in my own home for it. Enjoy these transformation photos, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.